Introduce my last interview partner. It's Andrea Botelho. Andrea, there you are. I see you. Yeah, Andrea is, I think, the one of us who speaks the most languages, who has traveled the furthest. She was born in Rio de Janeiro, and she has studied and made music in many, many different countries, among others, other than Brazil itself, certainly in the States, in Russia, in Germany, quite a bit in different places in Germany, Nuremberg and Berlin, where you're now located. She's spent time in England. She's attended courses, given courses, and conducted many different groups. Greetings, Andrea. We've decided to speak in English, in particular because you have some guests from Latin America. Could you tell us a little bit about maybe some of those connections of yours that are now also attending this meeting?
So, thanks a lot for being here, Marielle, and it's a great pleasure to be here talking to you all. Ich bin auch Deutsch, aber wegen meiner Kolleginnen aus Südamerika, die hier total aufgeregt sind, werde ich in Englisch sprechen. So, I'm going to be talking in name of my colleagues from Latin America, and some of them are here, and I think that'll be great for them to be more participating.
In particular, I think we have colleagues from Argentina who have joined us. Is that correct? Or
Yeah,
also other countries?
now with us, I think we have Eva Lopsak. She's a great composer in Argentinian. And we have Nayuzi Machado here among us. She's a choir conductor in Brazil and one of the coordinators of this project too. We have Luciene. She's the founder of a woman orchestra in Rio de Janeiro, a great one. She's running this project. She's not a conductor, but she's running this project from Brazil and several others. So I might be forgetting because they're popping up right now.
Okay, thank you very much, Andrea, for connecting us. I think you're a real networker. I also know you're a feminist musicologist. You're working on your doctoral degree at the moment, and we've been exchanging quite a bit recently. It's been a great pleasure. And you have told me that you are now focusing very much on women conductors. And this is the topic that I would like to discuss with you here today. One way that I got connected with you is I saw that you were involved in a major meet up of women conductors that took place last September. Now, last September was a very, very important month for women composers, conductors, composers perhaps too, but especially conductors, because the La Maestra competition took place in Paris for the first time. It will be repeated in 2 years, but that was very visible. Arte television here in Germany broadcast a lot of the sessions. And almost parallel to that, I think a couple of days later, the third symposium, International Symposium of Women Conductors took place online. And this is a group that started out certainly in South America or Latin America. The first meeting was in 2016 in Sao Paulo. The second meeting was in Montevideo in 2018. And of course, 2020, everyone was doing everything online. But that sort of opened up the whole thing. And I think there were hundreds of women participating. But perhaps, and you are one of the originators. You're one of the people who've been working on this from the very beginning. So tell us about it. How did this happen? And how many women are conducting in South American or Latin American countries? What is the scene like?
Oh, thank you. So the main organizer is our maestra Lígia Amadillo, the very famous Brazilian conductor, very beloved for us all. She's now in front of the Teatro Solis from Uruguay. And she's not only a great conductor, but she's a great organizer. I was not the founder of the symposium. She was with three other fellows. But she gathered and called a legion of female conductors, composers, instrumentalists, and producers for this work. Her ability to involve and unite human conductors is fascinating. I usually call her maestra of the maestras. Né?
Nice.
And by the first event, I was honored to attend as a speaker because I am a conductor here. And I went there and helped a lot. And I was surprised for the first one to see around 300 female conductors in the symposium attending. That was for me a life-changing event. Through this network, I met some of my best friends, and together we have been collaborating professional and politically ever since. After that, I have been more and more involved. Unfortunately for the Uruguay, I was just before I have healthy issues, I could not attend, but I was involved as well. But the third one, we almost said we couldn't make it because of COVID, but last minute together with my colleagues, we decided to do online. And I must say, everyone who is involved is volunteer, and we carry out this work. We engage ourselves to do that. I was moderating, working with the organization, gave support on translation, and gave some speech as well. But the main coordinators are Lígia Maggio, Nailze Machado, who is here with us, Yeni Delgado, Eva Lopsik was here with us, Natalia Salinas, and Rocio Palas. And I represented Europe together with Isabel Costas.
Yeah.
We decided actually the dates between 16 and 20 of September, not because of La Maestra. No? We decided because of some appointments issues, but it was not before, but was in the same time. So the same time happened the symposium and was the Maestra. We are together just like a football team, just
pulling together. Yes.
And working and gathering together for them. I must say, we did not that on purpose, but it ended up being a great present for all of us because we made history without noticing it. Our event turned out to be the biggest event for women conductors, and I must say, women in music until now. I'm pretty sure that this event will not get forgotten soon. We got more than 40,000 views a day for women conductors. And we have also 1,000 active participants. And we have the honor almost to have all the greatest female conductors of our time who dedicated some time to be with us, like Simone Young, like Claire Gibault, Teresa Hernandez Vega, Glass Marcano, all and several other ones who were with us, just talking and telling their experience, just exchanging. Besides that, we got a group of composers, male composers, producers, and we are just involving ourselves on changing information, just seeing how's life. And we have like one of female conductor from Iran. We were very touched about that because she would, nowadays in Iran, they are not allowed to make music, women, also to sing. And she, just to take part of our symposium, she sent us in hidden a video of her orchestra, that just for us to know that she was there. And she was there with us like online, just for us to see their women conductors in Iran as well. So
Also sie hat insgeheim euch was zugeschickt, habe ich verstanden. Okay. Also es ist fantastisch, wie du erzählst, ein bisschen was für jetzt die deutschsprachigen. Es ist fantastisch, wie du erzählst, wie die Stimmung vor allem da war und auch wie groß diese Veranstaltung im Endeffekt wurde und wie man ja im Grunde, ich habe es erlebt auch, also ich habe zum Teil auch teilgenommen, wie Frauen quasi von allen Kontinenten auch vertreten waren. Yes. Simone Young hat aus Australien dann auch teilgenommen und Joanne Falletta aus USA und Marian Alsop hat, glaube ich, auch vorbeigesehen. Es war wirklich unheimlich vielfältig. Ich hab noch zwei Fragen einfach an dich und das eine ist, was waren die Hauptthemen? Also wenn du auf das Programm guckst, von diesen 4-5 Tagen Veranstaltung online, Was waren einige von den zentralsten Themen?
We had the idea, the main idea from the first one. Mary also was this with us in this 2016 together, né? Just for info.
Mhm.
We have the main idea is to promote several workshops. And this workshop was divided in diverse categories. We thought about language, so we divided in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. And also we divided some panels for choir, orchestral, special programs, educational programs, all women orchestras. We had a panel for that, and female composers. But our main goal is still is to develop actions to implement cultural policies for female inclusion in music, and to elaborate that what we did, a manifesto that promotes equal opportunities for women in music. And the manifesto, we're still working on that, but we want to gather as many women as possible. It's like understands the wave of feminism in general. We need just to think about this was a huge wave in the musical for feminism in music for us. So
Okay, I have someone asking already. Ich habe jemanden, der schon fragt, ob man den Entwurf für diesen Manifest bekommen kann. Aber vielleicht ist es etwas, soll das global sein? Ist es dann für alle?
Yes. So in English again, it's we aim to be global. So we're just thinking about the next one, how we could do that for everybody, just to be together. We need to gather our strength together just to achieve that. The manifestos is we have already done. We're still finishing touch, but we're gonna post in our webpage. And I'll be glad to share with you, and maybe we can have like work together with that.
Yes,
So
I hope so.
I'm German and Brazilian, so I'm happy to be a bridge of both cultures, just to help each other for us to be more in touch.
That is a wonderful perspective. Das ist eine tolle Perspektive. Andrea bietet an, sozusagen auch eine gute Brücke nach Südamerika, Lateinamerika für uns zu sein. Hervorragend. Gut, und jetzt hier, genau, das ist ja auch die Webadresse, seht ihr in den Chat. You can see the address to find more information on this symposium. She's just posted it in the chat. My final question to you would be, you've traveled many places, been in many countries, you've worked on the question of women in music in many different places. What is your view at the moment on this, the situation of women in music in Germany, perhaps a bit in comparison to the States or England or Brazil or Russia, the different places that you've worked?
So yeah, I have been working several countries, US, Europe, and now between Brazil. But I would say that it's hard to say what is better and worse in relating to music, because the issues of female in the music fields are still more or less the same global. I'm just pointing up music, the music field. It gets worse when we talk about issue that goes beyond that. But we're just talking, I'm just trying to point what we're talking about when we see what Melissa just pointed us, very great. We are saying Germany about the cultural projects that we here can afford and financially, and how tragic is the situation. So for us, as positive, that I would say that we have in Latin America, that's this network that we're building since 2016. Do this idea from Ligia Amadio. So, and the three other fellows that gathered together, there were four women that they gathered this idea. They started without maybe aiming that, they were aiming that, but they started a rocket. So, and it's growing really fast. With the symposiums, we can say that we start a big feminist wave regarding women in music. We know who we are. I know where my fellows in Cuba are doing, Mexico and Argentina and Brazil. We know who we are and we are connected. We are not only connected. I got invited to conduct in Brazil by Ligia and in Brasilia and in other orchestras because of this networking. So and not only that, I'm knowing more about the composers. I'm working on getting Eva's composition here, and this networking, it's really positive. We know who we are, and we are just exchanging ourselves and prioritizing ourselves. So we can now almost all of American countries, we have networks. And after this last symposium, our hands came to countries who never know about the female work, like Iran, for instance. And European female conductors, after these online events, are also aware that we exist, like you, Mary Ellen, you have been there, and our strengths and wishes to join us. Isn't that very positive? So we need to just think about that women in music, we are in a big disadvantage. And the only way that I see, maybe I'm wrong, the only way that I see for us to get this a little bit further is to connecting ourselves, to find where the composers are, to find where the musicians are, just to exchange, the producers, just talk to them. I'm like, I work in my musicology project about opera. Like for 8 years, I'm getting works from opera composers. I'm posting my homepage. I'm gonna put it for you, like maestras and opera composers. Just put that because I want you to know. I know it's a research of years, but I want you to know where they are, so that we can maybe, as the conductors, just to point it out, we are gonna be conducting one, at least one, in every program, a piece of a woman. So in this way, we can really change, because if we don't unite ourselves worldwide and don't do that, I don't think we're gonna be still playing with a lot of respect. But this year, I was invited to conduct Beethoven and to point a Vortrag, like about Beethoven 9, and I said, no, I want to do about Emily Meyer. And they
Good
were
for
like,
you.
and
Thank
you
you.
know,
Thank
and
you.
he got
Okay.
my idea, and I was talking about Emily Meyer, and this thing, with all respect, is going to be our job. Our job, females, conductors, composers. We cannot expect it that my piano class, I'll have a small piano class, all of them play one piece of a female composer.
For sure. Okay, that's exactly what I do with my choirs. At every program, at least one woman composer, and that's a connection to someone I see in my screen here, Diana Circe, a Mexican composer who's in Paris right now but lives in Munich. So we have a nice connection there as well. And I'm just about to start singing a piece by her with one of my choirs, and I can't wait. So we have all sorts of wonderful connections here. And thank you very much for this closing statement. It's very inspiring. Es ist sehr inspirierend zu hören, diese große Vernetzungsgedanke und wie wir uns gegenseitig bestärken können. Ganz herzlichen Dank, Andrea Botelho.
Danke sehr.
Ja.
Next year, it's the planning for the next one, and I'm gonna do all my efforts just to gather more German fellows together, and just for us just to be
We
working.
will work together, I think. That will be wonderful. Ja. Ja, Emilia Meyer war das Stichwort. Das führt uns, glaube ich,
Ja.
zur ersten Folie, die wir gleich sehen werden. Wir machen eine
Ja.
kleine Abschlussrunde.
Ja.
Beatrice, du bist dran. Und zwar werden wir jetzt zurückkommen zu unserem Ausgangspunkt, das Frauenorchesterprojekt, Veranstalter, veranstaltende Institution sozusagen für heute, gemeinsam mit dem